Now for a 12 News Legal Deep Dive, where we take a look at some of the biggest legal cases making headlines in Arizona and all across the country. First, a civil rights attorney just filed a notice of claim against 3 Phoenix police officers and the city of Phoenix, seeking $500,000 in damages after a teenager was assaulted by police officers. Now, this all happened back in January 2024. Body cam footage here shows officers arriving at the home of the teenager, Sergio Nino, after his father called police because he was having issues disciplining his son during an argument. In this video, Nino's dad says this isn't the first time he's called the cops on his son. Listen to what one of the officers tells him.
Well, you can. You're just choosing not to.
I mean,
you drag him.
Really?
You drag him. You hit him. He's a child. He only has rights from the government. He has no rights from you. So if you wish to beat him, you can beat him. If you wish to belt him, belt him.
The officers then tried to talk to Nino as he was trying to show one of them video of a fight with his dad. That officer there then takes the phone. A fight breaks out. The officer takes Nino to the ground, and Nino ended up suffering injuries to his face and a fractured wrist. So joining me now is criminal defense attorney Hector Diaz of Diaz Law. You saw this video. What do you make of it and what the officer said to the father?
I mean, did they know that this was being recorded?
Body cam video.
I mean, clearly.
Yes.
I mean, listen, all joking aside, they did. Really shocking in terms of the advice, telling them that, go ahead, you can drag your son. You can, that's child abuse in most contexts, most states. And so really surprising. I, wouldn't be shocked if you learn later that these officers were probably put on some kind of administrative paid leave or not, some kind of disciplinary action was taken against them. I mean, I understand why the notice of claim was filed here.
So speaking of the notice of claim, explain exactly what that is for people who aren't familiar and basically what will be next.
So under Arizona law, if you're seeking to file a lawsuit against, say, a city, or if you're against a state entity or state government entity, you can't just file the lawsuit. You first have to draft a letter that lays out the basis for the claim and lays out the monetary amount in terms of here's what we'll settle it for.
This is kind of like a heads up.
Precursor.
I'm about ready to sue you.
Right,
yes.
Precursor. And there's a deadline to submit it. If you don't submit it, then you're precluded from filing the actual lawsuit. It gives the city the ability to look at it, review the claim, and potentially settle it without any kind of litigation. And so here, I had a chance to kind of skim the notice of claim. They laid out here, clearly what occurred, that it was excessive force, that, ultimately, while they accused this young man of aggravated assault and, against a police officer, those charges were dismissed. And here's the base, that this was just really unnecessary force that occurred here. No doubt Phoenix Police is going to review this. They're going to look at it. They're going to interview these officers probably and make a decision. And they got a couple options. Maybe they don't even respond to the notice of claim and say, file the lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
And that's a possibility. Or they can engage in some kind of mediation, some kind of, some kind of effort out of court to settle it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Okay. Our next local case got national attention. A federal jury just awarded an Arizona woman $7.25 million after she was injured on a Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios Hollywood. In 2022, 74-year-old Pamela Morrison fell while stepping onto a moving walkway, breaking her spine. Her attorney argued that the employees didn't stop the walkway for her to safely exit the ride, but attorneys for Universal, well, they said it was Morrison's fault because she was focused on her grandson and not where she was stepping. Ultimately, a jury found the theme park responsible for creating dangerous conditions. What stands out to you about this case?
That it got beyond a motion to dismiss. Sometimes these cases, especially where, you're alleging that there was a significant injury here. I think it was a spinal injury.
Right.
Sometimes these kinds of situations, Universal or a company like Universal look at it and say it's probably better off that we're not in litigation. So I was surprised that it actually made it to a jury in federal court in California.
Okay, sorry about it. Apparently, I think we have some mic issues. $7.25 million. That sounds so high to me. You thought maybe she could have even gotten more.
Universal Studios, a California jury, traditionally California verdicts when you're dealing with a large entity like this, with injuries that we're talking, could be significant in the future, right? She may have some debilitating injuries going forward. So I was really surprised $7 million was the amount. Usually you see 25, 30, 40 million just almost sending a message to a company like this: get better,
Yeah.
be better, and protect the people that are going to visit the studio.
All right. Hector, thank you. Okay, and then you're going to stay with us because in our next half hour, you're going to be back for another legal deep dive into two big national cases. We're going to discuss the latest on the mysterious death of legendary actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog. Their deaths are being called suspicious enough for an investigation. And there's a new effort to possibly free the Menendez brothers, and it's from California Governor Gavin Newsom. What he's asking in less than 15 minutes.
And after the break, have you noticed more violent videos coming across your